Hey, other than this Preacher Man R&B and some of the Game of Thrones reviews Tuesdays, this week is Season 2, Episode 6. And what happens on this week's episode, it starts off with Theon, and he's done taking Winterfell, and he makes Bran tell all the people of Winterfell to listen to Theon, and that Theon is their lord now. And before they can capture the Grand Maester of Winterfell, he sends a raven out to Robb Stark, and then they capture him. And then they find the head guard of Winterfell after he's coming back from an attack that Theon and them orchestrated further off. That way Winterfell wouldn't have their defenses. And they capture him, and he disrespects Theon by spitting in his face. And at first Theon's going to throw him in the dungeon, but the second in command of Theon's ship tells him that this guy has to pay the iron price. So Theon sentences him to death and takes his sword and cuts this guy's head off in front of Bran and them. And then later on in the episode with Theon, the wyvern that they captured at the beginning of this season or the beginning of last season seduces Theon and gets Bran and Rickon out of there, and they escape, and that's all that happens with Theon at Winterfell. What's happening with Robb Stark? They're coming off of a battle, and he talks to the woman he betrays the Freys with, and they're getting to know each other. And then Catelyn comes back and talks to Robb and tells him that he can't break his oath he has with the Freys. And Robb says he knows, but as we know, if you ever watch this season and future seasons, that he betrays the Freys, and we'll talk about that whenever I watch that, and we'll get to that then. And that's all that happened with Robb Stark. What happened with Jon Snow, he's beyond the wall, and they capture these wildlings. And this is when we first meet, can't remember her name. It's the girl that Jon Snow gets with in the books, but I can't remember her name. But anyway, he gets with her, and he's about to kill her, but he can't kill her because he's never killed a woman before. And she runs and tries to escape, and Jon Snow captures her again, and Jon Snow's separated from the rest of the crows that he's with, and he doesn't know how to get back, so him and her has to go and try to find a way back, and he has her as his prisoner. And that's all that really happened with Jon Snow. Now, what's happening in King's Landing with Tyrion and the rest of them, Joffrey and them are seeing Marcella being shipped off to Dorne, and they start walking back to the castle, and one of the lower people throws cow crap at Joffrey's face, and he starts telling his guards to kill everybody, and a big riot ensues, and they get out of there, and Sansa gets left behind, but the Hound saves Sansa and brings her back to where she's protected, and Joffrey didn't do nothing to help Sansa. And that's all that happened in King's Landing. What's happening? What's happening with Daenerys? She's trying to get ships to go to Westeros, and the second richest person in Car denies her, and she goes around talking to other folks trying to get their ships, and they all deny her. And when she gets back to the place that she's staying, she finds that her dragons have been kidnapped, or dragon-napped, and her servants that was there have been murdered. And what we find out is that the dragons have been captured by the monks of the House of the Undying. I think that's what it is. And that's all that really happened in this week's episode. My questions for y'all is, what do y'all think is going to happen now that Daenerys' dragons have been captured? As always, Preacher Man R&B, so I'm not that huge exhausted.